Hello everyone, welcome to A1 TV and I'm your host Sana Zia. As you all know that we started a new program and that is Politics in Australia, Local Council Elections 2020. And I'm really excited and very privileged because our today's guest is a very a dear friend, and on top of it, I know him since long. He's very actively in community work, and then whenever we talk about politics, the first name from South Asian background come into my mind is Parveen Kumar. Yes, he is none other than Parveen Kumar. He is an ALP member for Northwest Ward, city of Moreland. So let's welcome our privileged guest, Parveen Kumar ji. Hi, Parveen ji.
Namaskar, Sanaji, and hello to everyone who's watching this program on A1 TV. And as Sanaji said, she's a dear friend and a great social worker for the community. Is doing an amazing job during this COVID time. Where people are looking at what to do, but Sanaji is all over the place doing quite a good shows. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to attend this program today, Sanaji.
Thanks to you, Praveenji. I know you're terribly busy in your elections and all that in your campaign. And plus, we are really excited because now this year we can see people like you who are deserving, who really care for community and want to work for community. So, and that is what politics means. You have to serve community. And I can see you that for long you are working for community. So, Parveenji, for me, I know you, but for my viewers, I just want that if you can give us a brief introduction about yourself and your journey so far.
Yeah, well, I came to this country about 2 decades ago as an international student. And for the first 10 years, like everyone else, I worked in quite a few places and worked in quite senior roles. I'm an IT graduate, coming from the South Asian background, IT is in our blood. So I worked as a business analyst before I ventured into my own business. But always community was very close to my heart. So I've always been involved in some form of community work. And that eventuated to me working closely into politics as well. I've been involved in the local politics for the last decade. I was fortunate enough to be working with the federal member for Wills as an advisor. So that's been my journey, and I've worked with a lot of local community organizations such as the Hope Center, which runs free lunch program for anyone in the community for the past few years. I worked with the Pascoe United Cricket Club, where my kids go and play as well. I worked with on the board of Glenroy Neighborhood Learning Center. So these are some of my community organizations that I worked for, and I've always been quite active in the wider multicultural space as well. And that's because of that, I get an opportunity to meet great people. And one of the people I met through those connections are Sanaji as well.
Yeah. That's really great to know that. And as you mentioned, that you are connected with the community and working for community for so long. And I can see you always promote diversity and multiculturalism and all that. So can you tell us a little bit about your vision towards multiculturalism or how you are going to promote diversity?
Well, if you see Moreland as a council is one of the most diverse councils you can see in Victoria or within Australia. We've got people from various backgrounds. If you see the early settlers, we can see a lot of English, Italian. You see Greek. You can see Middle Eastern. And up recently, there's a big wave of South Asian migrants. So it's very very diverse community, and the and multicultural as well. It's very well supported. I think if you see, we got a lot of festivals happening. That's how we celebrate multiculturalism within Moreland. It's been a harmonious place. Yeah, so you specifically wanted to ask me something more about multiculturalism, Sanaji?
Nana, you already explained it really well because I know that, you always promote multiculturalism. You attend different diverse festivals, different sort of community works, and whenever there is anyone who need your help and ask for anything related to any community, you are always there to help. And that is what I just want to let other know, that how much you believe in diversity, because through your actions you convey your message.
Well, as you know, coming from the subcontinent, we are lucky to be celebrating. It's always very diverse. When you come from the South Asian background, most of my friends are from Muslims. I celebrate Eid, and I studied in a Catholic school. Celebrated Christmas. All throughout, and being from the Hindu background, have celebrated Diwali and all. So I think that's the greatness about coming from subcontinent. You're already well versed with multiculturalism. When you come here, it's nothing different.
Yeah.
So we can assimilate very well.
Yeah. And that's the reason I think this year we can see there are so many people who are from different backgrounds, and you are one of them. So we wish you best of luck. And I should have asked this question first from you, Praveenji. What's your vision? You are actively involved in community, in politics for ages, and you announce that you want to contest council elections. But what is your vision now?
So, see, I've always been involved in community and politics, right? Even before I moved to Australia, I've contested in student politics. I've served in several roles, and have some of my family involved, very close family involved in politics. So it's always been there. But you know, as I said, when we come as students, the first thing you do is try to settle down and things. And once you settle down, in then you look after other things. But I always wish, the community of Australia, the local community, especially in Moreland, which I call home for the last 2 decades, have given me so much. It's a beautiful community, where I can raise my kids and all. So I want to give back something to the community. And I've seen that, one of the things, if you are in a position of power, you have a platform to uh, deliver some of the things which you otherwise couldn't. So hence why I was more keen on joining the local politics, because there are many decisions, in the recent past have been adverse, where people who are elected have a radical agenda. It doesn't suffice the needs of every everyday common man. So hence why I put my hand up. One of the things of democracy is, if you're not participating, and if you don't actively participate in democracy, you that means you're giving others a choice to decide what is right for you.
I think that's really good to know, and you explain it really well, Praveenji. You already explained your vision, but if I ask you what three things you want to emphasize if you are elected as a counselor, so what three things you want to highlight or emphasize?
Well, there's quite a few things that I would love to work with, but if you're looking at the top three priorities,
Yeah.
first thing for for myself or any other people contesting in any level of government is about job security and revitalizing the economy. With with COVID pandemic, have it has created crisis in our local community, um, with local businesses and families shut down. So, well, to an extent, our community has been very resilient for this, but revitalizing the economy is the top of the priority, and local government being the closest to the community has a very vital role to play, is to support the local businesses, and as a local government, the Moreland City Council is one of the biggest employer within our area. So I would love to work with community organization, businesses, and bureaucrats to see the creation of more jobs, because I strongly believe uh, if people have jobs, they have that economic security. When people have economic security, uh, then the community will grow and flourish. Otherwise, if people are desperate, and desperate, if they don't have jobs, if they don't have security, they don't have food, that's when all things go wrong. So, as I said, my top priority is about the jobs of the future. And the second thing is about safety and security, whether being out of your home or within your home. What I mean to say that is, there's been a recent incident in Guanbre where a 20-year-old young lady was doing her normal jogging routine, and she was attacked on in broad daylight,
Yeah,
and which is very distressing. So would like to work and with the local community, can have some consultation, and where required, we need to have additional lighting, or where it's important, we need to have CCTV cameras, so that it might be deterrent. And again, as I'm not saying that this is what I want to do, but this is my vision. But this will all has to be done in consultation with the local community. And when I talk about being safe inside the house as outside, you would have been well versed with so many issues coming out of domestic violence, especially with the South Asian community, is very distressing.
yeah.
So people have some set opinions and behavior where they think it's okay that one gender is above the other gender. So I need to work with the council to develop programs to educate people that domestic violence is not okay. In any form, physical or mental. So that's another thing I want to work with. And the third thing is about the growth. I mean, the establishment of maternal and childcare services, because if we want more women to be in workforce, we need to have additional childcare spaces which are affordable and which are near, so that it encourages women to go and work. Otherwise, I've seen that within my own family how it is hard for my own wife to and me as well, to get that work life balance having kids. So improvement of maternal and healthcare as well as childcare spaces is also top of the agenda for me.
I think all the three agendas, whatever you mention, they are the top most, I think, required things, not only in Moreland City Council, but I think in all other councils as well. Because
Yeah.
domestic violence and then community welfare, security, they are all at stake because due to COVID-19 pandemic, there is quite uncertain things happening all over. Financially, people are not stable, So during COVID-19, Parinji, you are quite actively involved in helping the community. Can you highlight a bit some of the things which you do?
Well, one of the things during COVID-19, a lot of people have shut down and uh, I was still working for the federal member, so we were having hundreds of emails of people who are because, as you see, this is one of the events that have never happened nearly in 100 years.
Yeah,
A lot of people were scared. A lot of businesses closed. There was information coming from everywhere, and people were lost. But thanks to Peter, who's a hardworking MP, he's put us all on alert, and we were making phone calls and speaking to our constituents about how are they feeling. Would they like some information regarding either it might be Centrelink, either it about the provisions the government is providing to a small business, or what what options have they got, if somebody's sick, where to who to contact, and also asking that whether they're just okay. Some people are so isolated, with family being far apart. So been actively working with our team in that. And I've worked with a few organizations where we have to even deliver uh, food or groceries for maybe someone who going through a bad time, or a lot of international students as well,
yeah.
because they rely on jobs. And once everything closed, it was really hard for them.
Yeah, it's really important to work on these levels because there are international students and there are so many other people who are suffering from these kind of problems. So, Parveenji, you highlighted the things really well.
Yeah, and there were issues in communities as well, where sometimes you can understand it much more better, and our viewers can understand much more better than others. Is about sometimes somebody living in a student environment, somebody gets infected, they feel very bad to say that to others that I'm infected, because they'll be looked down upon. That was creating a massive issues in the student community. And you know how contagious coronavirus could be,
Yeah,
where people and students, they live as 5 people, 6 people, 7 people in a
yeah,
house, and they all get infected. So driving programs to educate them, talking to them, telling them the importance of getting tested. So all those things, again, I say I'm one of the many hundreds of people within the community who's done an outstanding job. I'm very, very proud to be part of a community uh, where there were not just one, there were hundred or thousands of people. You can see going out of their way and helping each other was really, really great to see. That's why we should call this Australia.
yeah,
We're so lucky to be in a country like Australia where people care for each other. It doesn't matter. It might be the Punjabi community, or the South Indian community, or a Pakistani community, or a Bangladeshi community, or the Middle East community. Everyone, have done what they could. So,
yeah.
this is, I take this occasion to thank all the people who've done the good work, in whatever capacity they can. And I've seen one post which touched my heart, about this student was reaching out to one of the organizations, say, I can't do much, but I've got $50. Can I give it to someone to buy something? Being a student, but still, they have that spirit of helping, and it encourages. It's like a chain reaction. When you see people, the other people get motivated to do. So yeah, it's been a great experience to be part of. It's not just me. I think people like you. There's
There are so many
many.
people. Yeah,
Everyone has done an outstanding job.
yeah. Yeah, and I think, as you mentioned, that is the beauty of Australia, that everyone here is together. And when you have to help, even we can see so many people during bushfire. Uh, Together, we can try to, to overcome these kind of hurdles or problems. And of course, this coronavirus we try to overcome as well. Government is doing really great, and end of the day, people like you are doing uh, great work for community. So, Parveenji, you also mentioned that you want to emphasize on to revitalize the economy. So, do you have any plan to promote businesses in Moreland, or anything you want to do for local businesses?
Well, once the economy opens, I think there's a lot that the local government can do in form of grants or in form of reduced charges. Or also, one of the good things about the local government is it can work with the state and federal authorities to see how it can improve, help the businesses to survive and create more jobs. And especially with Moreland City Council, because of its proximity to the city, we got a lot of advantages in that space. May it be encouraging more education institutes to set up, or we got the Sydney Road, which is famous for a lot of shopping and a lot of
And say,
eateries, and we've got and the Moreland Labour has a robust strategy about robust strategy and policy on each of these issues. We've got three activity centers which we think about. Especially Brunswick, Coburg, and Glenroy. Which are high activity zones where there are many businesses and all. So I think it is not a decision that there's. It's not a simple thing to do it, but I think collaboratively work with the state, federal uh, governments and the local businesses. I think um, we can learn from each other the requirements and what we can help, and definitely improve and revitalize the economy.
yeah, definitely. If we try hard, of course, it's a hard time, but if we got a clear vision, like you mentioned, then I think it's easy to fulfill the aims, and then to overcome the hardships, whatever we are going through at the moment.
And
So, Puneet,
I'll tell.
yeah,
Sorry, cut you off. I'll add
yeah,
one more point. I think this pandemic has really created, like a reset button. If you
yeah,
look at before the pandemic, or if you go back years, a lot of people were struggling to open a business because there are a lot of people with great visions, young people. I know myself, when I initially wanted to start business as a student itself, I wanted to do this and that, but the cost of doing it was so high that many of the are put off. But I
yeah.
think with this reset button, I think a lot of prices might come down. A lot of people might need less investment to start a business, and I think that will be a great opportunity for new ventures. And I think you'll see a lot of young talented people are able to do things which probably would not have been possible prior to the pandemic because of the costs associated with it. Do you agree
Yeah.
with that,
Oh, I
Sanaji?
totally agree with that. Now, I think due to this pandemic, there are so many things which is now we can say it's a cost effective strategies or is being implemented and all that. Even if we look out towards the rental properties and all those things, so I think that is why I said you have a clear vision. Where things are improving and where it needs to be, some sort of correction or emphasize or something like that. So it would be great to have a person like you in council, Praveenji, and from A1 TV platform. I wish you best of luck for your coming elections. But before we wrap up our today's show, even though there are so many things to talk, but still, I just want to ask in the end, do you have any message for the community regarding your upcoming elections?
Well, I haven't, I would ask all the voters in Moreland to make a choice. We've got a progressive team in the Moreland Labor with a clear vision and strategy to help revitalize the economy. And we've got a very diverse team. We've got experienced people as well as very young people and from diverse background in the labor team, and we we can actively work with the Andrews Labor government and deliver a lot of things. I can give you some examples of what Moreland Labor has already achieved in partnership with with the state government, such as recently we've got the funding for the removal of uh, the Coburg Railway Crossing, removal of Glenroy Railway Crossing, and recently there was nearly $238,000 invested to upgrade lighting around 5 parks in Moreland, which again improves the safety and security of the residents so that people can go out and enjoy. And recently there was another 500,000 invested to construct new synthetic turf soccer uh, synthetic turf soccer pitch at Hoskin Reserve in Coburg North. So thanks to the Andrews Labour government, we are able to get all these things invested, and I think if people vote sensibly, they would be able to uh, make their vote count because there's an example of how things can go wrong if the power is vested in the wrong hands. Like in the last election, we had a Greens dominant Moreland Council where they had radical plans about parking, where they wanted to put limited amount of parking without thinking of the problems that it will cause. But as the community anger grew, they had to withdraw what they planned to do. So things like that are can happen if the wrong people are elected to the council. So I request everyone to think through, and we got a Moreland Labor page on Facebook if you want to know more about the policies that the policy document and the policies that Labor has. You can like us on Facebook, and if you have any questions about my campaign, I'm on Facebook as well. Praveen Kumar, Labor for Moreland page.
And I must say that, the line which you mentioned, that every vote is really important. So whenever you think that you have to vote someone, think in a way that your vote matters a lot. So again, Praveenji, we wish you best of luck. You are doing great work for community, and of course, people of Moorland know you for so long because you are very actively involved, not only in politics but for the welfare of community as well. So hopefully, in coming elections, we will see you after when the elections is finished, and as a winner of Moorland City Councillor or as a councillor. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. And yeah, you want to say something?
No, thank you, Sanjay, for this opportunity, and thanks to all the viewers of A1 TV. You people are doing a fantastic job, and I'll take this opportunity also to congratulate all the other contestants, from different backgrounds who put their hand up and contesting in in different wards in different councils. All the best to everyone. I think that it would be good to see more people getting in, more young people, people with a different vision, so that Australia remains a progressive community. And
Yeah.
once again, thank you, Sanaji.
Thanks for being part of our show and to come to our show as well. So thanks once again, Praveenji, and again we wish you best of luck. Till then, in the end, I just say everyone, Please, the reason for doing shows like this is just to raise awareness and let you introduce your local members, so that when you vote, each and every vote matters a lot. So just think twice and then cast your vote. Till then, keep watching and keep supporting Ava TV. Thank you.